Breathe in. Welcome to What the Fuchs with Jess Fuchs. Now breathe out. And scream. Because here's what's pissed Jess off this week. Does that scare you?
Yes.
Okay, welcome back to What the Fuchs. I'm trying to get this shit fixed. Nick, you are my first guest.
Bad.
How does it feel?
Good.
Yeah, have you listened to the podcast? Trick question. We're recording this before anyone could have listened to anything.
I thought, what do I say here?
Okay, so basically, well, what's been going on? Because I'm just like, I want to do a little check-in, just like a hi, how are you? What everyone's week has been, and what anger points, what's pissed you off, what's made you say,
What the Fuchs?
yeah. But we first do soft intro. Well, you're here because you're staying with me.
I'm staying here. I'm in the next room.
Yes. And
Yeah.
this is your... How many times have you actually stayed here?
Let's
now?
figure it out. The first time was December last year.
Really? That was the first?
There's only been 3. Oh, no, there's been 4 times. December last year when I was moving.
Yeah.
And then February when I was on my way to Melbourne. I stayed here for a few nights.
Your memory is
when your
so
friend Izzy was
good.
here.
Oh, yeah, true.
That was for like 2 nights. And then
Yeah.
I stayed in May when I got really sick. I had a stomach bug.
That was really...
And destroyed your bathroom. and then this
each time has been memorable for a different
something
reason.
has happened each
This
time.
has been the lead.
So,
and nothing's happened yet.
I know, I'm
so it means-
scared. And there's one day left. So tonight's going to be crazy. I never
It is
leave
so funny.
unscathed. I always have an
It's like a horror
experience here
movie.
that
You're like-
sticks with me.
Last time when you were here, okay, so Nick stayed, what month was that?
May.
Yeah,
it was for
May.
about a week last time.
And you were totally fine for the first few days, and then you obviously ate something, or we don't really know exactly.
I think I picked up
a bug.
a viral like flu, like a stomach bug.
Yeah, but it was one of the funniest things because I knew you were a bit sick, but I hadn't seen you for whatever reason, and I walked in and it was literally like an old like 1500s painting where someone's like draped dying from the plague, and you
Yeah.
looked like you were literally gonna die. You were like pale and weak and limp across the bed.
I could barely get out of bed. And then it was funny because we had our show that night, the Girls and Gays.
then you couldn't do
and I was
it.
like, if I sleep a bit more, then I could be fine. And then I had
No.
diarrhea for 6 days. I was like, and on that first day, I was like, maybe by tonight I'll be healed. It's like, babe, no, you
And then
won't,
I remember
babe.
trying to give you some like medicine to like a what's it called, the
Cold and flu.
cold and flu, but also like just give you anything. I had
Yeah.
like supplements to be like, maybe this will help. Mm-hmm. That was
I think
really
it helped a bit.
maybe,
'Cause I
but I
felt-
think you were just
yeah.
so sick. Like,
That's
you know
the
when you
sickest
see
I've
someone
been
so
in
sick?
years.
In years. God.
Yeah, that sucked.
That was really bad.
It just sucks because, like, I missed the show and we're so excited for that.
Yeah, but I literally was like scared of how sick you were because I was like, you look like the plague has gotten
it was
you.
so freaking bad.
It's so, and usually, and it's so intimate to be that sick.
I know.
And then like you've
And then
this
the next time I came to Sydney, I got a hotel because I was just like, it's too soon to go back to that
you
room.
was too triggering.
I was like, I can't enter that house yet.
Literally like the plague site. That's so funny.
But
Okay, well,
it's been enough time now that it feels nice to be back.
yeah,
this
now
time.
it feels nostalgic, and you're like,
Yes.
remember? Yeah, well, when you got here yesterday or the day before, you were like, which room am I staying in? And I was like, the boy room, my brother's room, my ex-brother's room, and you were like,
I was like, the room I almost died in. The room I almost perished in.
It's true.
Yeah, bad memory. But the bed's been rotated, so it feels
The
like a
bed's
new
been
room.
rotated. Other guests have
So the
been in
memories
there.
don't come flooding back, which is good.
We've aired it out. I got rid of the
You would
evil
hope so.
spirits. Yes. There's no bacteria still living and breathing in that room.
Well, it was a virus, but also
I
there
don't
would
really
have
know
been bacteria in there. I don't know.
I don't really know the difference.
Wait, remember that joke I used to do where, like, when I'm high, I want to watch funny videos?
Yeah.
No, sorry.
you
When
watch
when I'm high, I want to watch videos that blow my mind.
Yeah.
But then the guys who make them are always trying to crack jokes. And I was watching one called "What Is a Virus" one day, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh my god, is that what a virus is?" But then the guy kept being like, "So you might not know what a virus is. Neither do I. But let's learn." I was like, "Shut up." He's like, "These little guys can get into anywhere." Yeah, you heard that right. I was like, Mate, tell me what a virus is or shut the fuck up. I'm not here to... If I was here to laugh, would I have chosen a video called What is a Virus?
Yeah, I'm serious about this shit.
I want to learn. Anyway.
That's what I hate about podcasts that hide under the guise of going like, I'm teaching you something educational, but then they try to like crack jokes. I'm like, just tell me the facts of this murder. Like they try to be like, yeah, and he ate a sandwich. And what's your favorite sandwich? No one cares what the co-host's favorite sandwich is. It's like so annoying.
I've been watching a lot of like educational videos on YouTube. Like,
but whenever you get high, you love that
even when I'm not high.
Really?
Yeah, I just watch like, and I watched one the other day about like Antarctica, and the guy that does them, his videos are so good, but he's so annoying. He'll be like, and they have a lake the size... he'll be like, yeah, they have a lake the size of France. No, you heard me right. The size of the country, France. And I'm like, shut up. Just talk about it.
Yeah, like when they're saying stuff as if you're responding.
Yeah, you think I'm sitting there going, hang on.
Wow. Did he say this?
Oh, he did.
He couldn't. That's impossible.
I'm like, Matt, he did say France. Yes, he said France. I'm like, shut up.
Like, just shut up and keep saying the thing. We're obviously already intrigued. We're watching the video.
I feel mean being like, you're not funny, but it's
especially because it's like free information available
people aren't coming
online.
to your video for the jokes,
humor.
for the gags. You know what I mean?
Do you think everyone wants to be funny?
Of course. Surely.
That's
crazy. Right? Maybe some people who are like just workaholics who are like, I don't have time for laughing. Maybe not them. But
yeah,
surely,
true.
like,
but even then, the fact that they don't
people
have time for it, in quotes, is like they still aspire to have it or to not have it.
Surely everyone wants to be funny.
You'd think. What else is there to be? Hot?
Yeah, but that fades.
True.
Nice. I mean, everyone can be nice, though. That's not that hard.
Yeah, nice.
But some people make me wonder.
Some people bloody struggle with that one. Okay, well, basically, so you're staying here.
I am staying here.
Now, the point of What the Fuchs in my mind is just to air our grievances of things that pissed you off this week. Is there anything that comes to mind in the last week? You're my first guest, so we're moving and shaking with the format.
Oh, feels good.
What happened? Give me something that pissed you off in the last week.
Something that did piss me off.
That made you say, what the fuck?
Yeah, is that... So the reason I'm here.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'm flying to London.
Ooh.
I'm doing a little tour in England. And I'm saying England and not the UK because every time I promote my show on Instagram or TikTok, I get eaten alive if I mention the UK because I get messages and comments from people being like, excuse me... How can you say you're doing a UK tour? Which I never said. I just said I'm going to the UK. You're not doing a UK tour. You're not going to Northern Ireland. You're not going to Wales. I'm like, sorry, how about I just stay home then?
Sorry, how about I've just flown 45,000 hours
I had to get a visa for this, and now I'm in trouble?
Sorry, I had to do paperwork and you can't get on a train.
I mean, I do like...
No, I understand because it's expensive and whatever and there's so many things.
It's not that I don't want to go to the other places. I just don't have time.
And it's also like you'd have to have like enough people in each of those smaller cities to come to make it financially worth your time.
It's all well and good for one person to come in and be like, come here. And then I get like some cities I've sold like half the room. So I'm like... and I was meant to go to Scotland.
Also to get chewed out every time you're like, oh my God, I'm doing this cool thing. And they're like, well, technically.
They're like, oh my God, he's actually only doing an England tour, not the UK. And then that comment gets like 200 likes. I'm like, sorry. How about I just throw my visa in the bin then that I had to pay to get? Like, I'm trying my best. Anyway, I'm excited to go.
Yeah, you're going to have so much fun.
I was meant to go to Scotland, but we cancelled it because I'm getting a puppy. And I had to be back by a certain date to pick him up.
Yes.
And
so sorry to all the people in Scotland.
But that was months ago. When the show had only been on sale for like a few weeks back in like May or April.
Do you get pissed off in general with like comments that are not, because they're not technically wrong? Do you find that comments can get under your skin?
Yes. And I just think... I was talking to you about this the other day. Once I get the dog, I'm going to use that as my opportunity to just get the hell off my phone.
Yeah.
And even like some videos, I don't read comments on anymore. Like comments, like videos where I don't like the lighting because I'm a hypochondriac, as you know.
Yes.
And if people ever comment and say like I look pale or I look sick or things like that, I'm like, oh, now I'm spiraling. I think I'm dying. I'll literally message you and be like, am I dying?
And then it's like, and I get it because obviously people can leave these comments, but it's like one time someone just commented on my video, oh my God, your knees.
What does that mean?
Exactly. And I was like, I think I'm fine. My knees are fine.
Yeah.
But then I was like,
Then you
are they
start being
gross?
like, oh my God.
Like, what's wrong with them?
Yeah.
And then it's like, obviously these random people, it's fine for them to leave a comment. But I wonder if they know what they're doing.
Honestly, I have no idea.
Like, do you think someone who's like, your lips are purple, are like, I'm doing a service? Like, I can't understand. Like,
some people are just know-it-alls, though. You know those people that you meet who think they know everything?
yeah, I guess they
And
also
then
have
they're
access
like, I'm
to the
going to say
internet.
something. And then I have this guy. I'm scared he's going to listen to this, but he messages me a lot. And then he messaged me a few weeks ago being like, your content's going downhill, mate. What's going on? And I was like, it's getting so repetitive. Like, you need to do something about it. And then I posted something about haters the other day, and he was like, mate, ignore the haters.
What?
Everyone has something to say. I'm like, mate,
You are one.
you're the hater.
You're the hater.
But yeah,
Maybe
I
it's
just
also-
need to get off. I need to touch some grass.
Yeah, we need to get you with your dog touching some grass.
I do,
Because I think
yeah.
also it just reminds you that, like, it's like, look, everyone's got the internet and some people are just having a bad day or a sad day.
Yeah.
And then we are accessible to the person and they're just like, mate, your content's going downhill. It's like, you're getting this for free.
I know. And
Then
I also
switch it
just,
off. Don't watch
I think
it.
it's because I'm so sensitive. If someone's like, you're not funny, I'm like, well, I am, so I don't care. But
Yeah.
if someone comments on like my appearance or my health or like
It's the things that you're
the things that
insecure about naturally,
and,
like whatever your thing
Yeah.
is. Then if someone like touches it, I was saying this the other day to my friend because she went on a date with this guy, and she was like, he said all these like really nice things to me about like. He was like, you have such like beautiful skin, and she's like really insecure about her skin, and then she was like, he just was commenting on all the things I'm insecure about. So. And I was like, yeah, like, of course that's going to stick out more than other things because the other things he was probably like, you're smart and you're like awesome. And you're like, whatever, I know those things.
Yeah, like when someone's like to me, your head's not that big. I tell everyone, I'm like, guess what he said? It's like, of course I remember that.
Who's saying your head's not that big?
No one. But it's like, that's just such an insecurity. And it's like,
That's so...
it's not an insecurity. It's more fun. It's comical at this point.
I don't know that your head is that...
Babe,
I think that...
it's huge. The circumference of my head is 2 foot, which is the depth of a kitchen bench. I measured it once.
Do you care about having a big head? It doesn't look that You know what?
I just know I'm a big man.
Yeah,
Like,
you're just tall.
yeah, and I'm
you're
just,
just
like,
tall and
big
broad.
and tall and-
yeah.
but
do
when I was a
think the fact
kid, it
that
looked
hats-
weird.
Yeah.
I was at very...
Yeah, I can imagine.
And my mum still always will be like, that's a big head. That hurt. I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, she always used to... When I was a kid, she's like, your head's big. I'm like, thanks, mum.
It's just because you ripped... Did she have a natural birth with you?
Yeah.
Yes, so she remembers the circumference of that 2
And
foot
I was a
head.
big baby.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I was like 9.5 pounds, I think.
Why do we measure in pounds?
Babe, good question,
Babe,
babe.
that doesn't make any sense, babe.
Mm.
That's crazy. Yeah, being told you have a big head is so funny to me.
But then, but I've realized a lot of people do, because I'll say I have a big head,
Say
and someone's
that-
like, "Oh, same," and they're like, "No, mine's the biggest." But then we both try on a hat, and we're like, "Oh, everyone has a big head back."
Because you do have a few hats that fit. But
I
like
have
yesterday
one.
we were
I have one.
you have found a single hat that
Yeah,
fits.
now I wear it all the time because I'm like, this one fits.
Does it... Would we ever... I'm sure we could find a hat place that would make exactly the size that you need.
I probably have to get a
custom
made
You
hat.
need couture hats.
Some places don't sell shoes in my size.
Really?
One time I went to Maya and I was like, do you have these in a size 13? They're like, no, we don't have anything in a size 13. We go up to 12. And I was like, I'll show myself out.
How's that possible? Although my mom
That was
said
like
the
10
same
years
thing.
ago.
Oh,
So I don't
okay.
know. Maybe that.
Wow, you'd have to order online, like custom hat size. You just need one of
Yes.
those hats that are adjustable at the back.
Yeah.
But even then, I guess if it sits weirdly, like
Yeah,
you need
that's-
it to be enough fabric around.
It's also
the
because
actual
my head's a weird
dome.
shape. Like it goes, this bit is so big.
Yeah, like the
comes
back
like
is
when
big because
yeah.
it's thin.
Is it?
Yeah, like it's thin, long,
Yeah,
thin,
it's a long
and then
face.
it's deep.
It's deep.
Maybe that's the size.
What you know about rolling down the deep head? Yes, it's a deep head.
It's a deep head, but it's good. Imagine your brain. Your brain.
No, is that how naughty can we be on this?
You be as naughty as you are wanting to be, because I like it.
Okay.
You know, I like asking Carly sexually charged questions.
Oh yes, and you know I like to, but
true.
But they don't count. It's just fun.
Yeah, they don't count. Like, as in, it doesn't count as part of
when I'm singing my
lore.
songs as Carly and they're all sexual. It's just me being silly. It's
but
not,
I think you need to release an album
as
as Carly talking about Matt sexually, like her love. Like, what's the sex playlist?
But she wouldn't do that. That's
I know,
the thing.
but maybe it's
funny.
like Beyonce. She has Sasha Fierce.
Carly Fierce.
And maybe she spells Carly with like a K and a Y.
Carly
so it's
Cheeky.
like a really or like
I am
like,
Carly Cheeky. If I were a Matt.
No, that's too nice. You need to sing a sexy one for him.
Oh, what's a sexy one on that album?
Something she'd take her shirt off to.
Like
she always wears shirts.
Is somebody gonna match my freak?
Is Matt gonna match my freak?
If Matt keeps up with me, I'll keep on coming back.
What song is that?
Nasty by Tinashe.
Oh.
Do you know it?
What's
oh my
the
god,
chorus?
you know that song that's like, is somebody gonna match my freak?
Yeah, I know the
Is somebody
chorus,
with a good technique? We should watch the music video after.
Okay, we can do
Tinashe
that.
is so good.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Shout out Tinashe if you're listening.
Yeah, hey Tinashe, so good of you to be here. Here's what I want to say that pissed me off this week. I feel like as the Olympics had ended, there was a lot of conversation around like, I get annoyed when people over-identify with their sports team to the point where they say we. Like, we did so well, we brought it home,
I know.
we this, we that.
Yeah.
I find that really uncomfortable, and it pisses me off because I'm like, you've actually contributed nothing to this landscape, and you haven't done anything, because it's the same people who are like over-identifying with it in a positive way that then also are like so critical when their team doesn't win.
Yeah.
And are so like mean, even though everyone's just given it their best shot.
I know, I find that so... And it's also like... Is it mostly straight men that do that?
The person who I heard speaking about it was like 3 straight men. They were having breakfast and I happened to sit next to them and they were talking about it.
We could have done better.
Yeah.
Because it's like...
we, our stats are just not where they should have been and like blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you sat with beers and like just watch the game. You didn't do anything.
And it's also like, I'm not interested in sports, so I didn't watch any Olympics. So it's like, what's the equivalent for us? Imagine us watching Emily in Paris and then being like, we just didn't execute episode 2 as well as we could have.
The clothing just wasn't up to the standard we're used to.
Yeah.
It's like, you're wearing something from Anko and you haven't washed your sheets in a month.
We really should have given Alfie a different character arc, but we just really fell short. It's like, we're not involved.
We're not involved.
It's the same thing.
We're consuming it and we should just be grateful that you've given us anything.
Yeah, just have fun.
It's
Just
the
watch
same.
it.
Did you ever have people growing up? I remember there were kids growing up who would be like, yeah, so mum will pick us up at this time. And I'm like, your mum. They don't say like, my mum will give us a lift. It'll be like, mum will pick us up or dad, da 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 da. And I'm like, your dad.
You know what else? My friend Marcos. Hi, Marcos, if you're watching,
Hi,
who
Marcos.
I love dearly. But he does this thing, and he's always done it where, you know how some people say us instead of just like me? Like, give us some. Like, yeah. And then like sometimes I'd text him and be like, oh, like, what time are you going to get there? He's like, oh, can you pick us up? And I'm like,
who's
God. I'm
us?
like, who the hell are you bringing to my parents' house? Like, I'm like,
I only have so many seats.
And he's like, no, just me. I'm like, stop using.
Why do you
anyway?
Collective.
It's so funny, and he's always like,
does he know he does it?
yeah, because I'm always like, who's coming? He's like, no, just me. I'm like, stop saying us then.
That is so
just
weird.
reminded me.
I've never
Yeah.
heard someone use it like
It's
that.
very like, I remember in like
Maybe
at
it's very
school, people are
Aussie.
like, oi, give us, maybe it's a Queensland thing.
Oh,
like,
well,
give us a taste.
No, I definitely remember the whole like, oi, pass
chuck
us
us
this,
some.
slob
Yeah.
us that. Like,
And like,
that's
he'd be like,
normal.
oi, show us. So yeah, and sometimes he'd be like, give us a lift, or like, oh, meet us here. I'm like,
Who's
I'm
us?
not
I don't want to meet a
prepared.
group of people.
Like,
And
yeah.
then it's almost disappointing when it's just one person.
Yeah, sometimes if I'm in the
Sometimes,
mood to
like-
mingle, he's like,
he's like-
come meet us down here. I'm like, ooh, a party.
Oh, and then you get there and it's just him.
Yeah.
Okay, do you have another one that you've been pissed that's been pissing you off?
Right. Well, yeah, because I came home and ranted to you
Oh my
about
God,
this
yeah.
last night.
Yeah.
So I got a nice, so I got a digital camera.
Yes.
You have the same one. It's
I do
an
have the
old
same
school Kodak Pix Pro.
Something. It's what everyone on TikTok's using, and it's very trendy, and it's cute because there is something so fun about something you can point and shoot and then like not look at, and then you put on your computer or you get the film developed or
and
whatever.
I just like the aesthetic of it.
Yeah, same. I tried to get into film, like just shitty film once, but every single time I would take all these photos and then months later I'd get it developed, like once I finished the roll, and it would come back and they suck.
Same. I have a really good film camera
depressing.
that my friend Nat gave me. Hi, Nat. I got it in New York, but I forget I have it, and then I'm like, the act of having to go to a place to get it developed, it's not on my radar, but
I can't believe how
I
people
really
lived.
like the aesthetic of these digital ones.
Same.
And even at my show at Comedy Republic last month, there was someone in the front row called Ed who took so many photos in the front row, and
They
it
were
looked
so
sick.
cute.
They were cool.
Those photos are awesome.
But yeah, so I got it before I went to Tassie. And I went to JB Hi-Fi in Melbourne, and this girl was like, "Okay, this is the SD card you need for it." I was like, "Thanks, babe." Went to Tasmania, it didn't work, and then Sez was like, "Oh no, you need one that's not an adapter." And then you said the same thing.
Yeah.
So then I went to the JB Hi-Fi just down here yesterday in Bondi, and this guy's like, I was like, "Hey, I just need an SD card for this camera." He's like, "What SD card do you need?" I was like, "Well." I should be asking you that. And then I was like, "Oh, well, my friend said I need one that's not like this adapter." He's like, "No, this one will work."
Oh my God.
And he's like, "Can I try?" I was like, "Mate, go for it." And then he did it. He's like,
I hate when they don't trust that
I'm like, you don't think
I get it also if I was like old. Like I've had situations with my parents where they're like, "Oh, this da da da," and I'm like, "You just need to like change the charger and the computer still works." It's like, fine, yeah, okay, but like, if I've come in with very specific instructions, like I need this card,
like, I know what's
trust,
up.
I know.
And then he did it, and this thing came up. It's like, "Do you want to format your card?" He's like, "Oh, it's because you haven't formatted it." I was like, "No, this." And he's like, "Here." Yeah, I was like, "Well, how do I do that?" He's like, "Oh, let me do it." And then he did it. Then it still wasn't working. He's like, "Oh, it's still not working." I was like, "Why do you think I'm here?" And then we found the right one that worked. So I was right the whole time. And then he's like, "Oh, that's a pretty like Y2K kind of camera." And I was like, "Oh, we're friends now."
Oh my God.
No.
All of a sudden. No, you drew a line in the sand.
Don't be rude.
The thing with the JB Hi-Fi culture is, in my mind, they're all these like they're not tech bros. They're guys who are really good at playing video games. Who know a bit about technology, and they're dorks, but I think they're cool because now they wear like baggy t-shirts and lanyards. And so they're so rude, but in a way that is kind of hot sometimes. I don't know. Maybe
I've
that's
never
just my
experienced
type.
that feeling at JB Hi-Fi. I've never been like, "Ooh."
To me, there's something about someone who's a real asshole that I'm like, I will win you over.
Oh yeah,
do you know what I mean? But
they're
they're just
not my
rude.
type.
Okay.
And even the one at Melbourne, like when I went to buy those cameras, and they're in a glass cage, and then like all these employees were just talking, and I was looking at them.
Okay.
But then eventually,
you are the
I went
asshole
up to
who's
them.
weirdly standing there, like waiting for them to finish talking.
I felt like a stalker.
Yes,
and then
they're all
eventually,
standing
like,
in a circle, and you're just like, and it's so awkward because then you don't want to also walk up, and this whole circle looks at
and I
you.
was
They're
the
like
only
whip
customer
around.
too. But then this guy kind of like walked closer to me, and I was like, "Oh, excuse me." He's like, "Yes," and I was like, "Oh, I just like would like one of these cameras." He's like, "Okay, let me get a salesperson for you."
It's like,
and I was
sorry,
like, "Oh
who are
yeah,
you?"
I know what your role is here by looking at your face." Like, what the fuck? I was like, "Sorry, I didn't."
You're the idiot
He's
somehow.
like, "Yeah, but I'll get a sales person if that's fine." And I was like, "Oh,
yeah." And then I end up
sorry.
apologizing. I hate when I'm in
Fuck
those
off,
situations.
you dumb fuck. Get fucked." Sorry, that just came out. That just really came out of that poured out of me. Yes.
You needed to air that grievance.
Yeah,
it's true. Get fucked. I love when you
But-
see someone who's so demure all of a sudden just like have an emotional outbreak. That's one of my favorite things, to see someone's mask drop.
Yeah, I had a boss
love that.
at this architecture firm, and she was the most composed woman ever. And she's iconic. Like, she's just so classy, so composed. I loved seeing her get mad. One time she got mad at me, and it kind of pissed me off, but I was also like, yes. I was like, yes, yell at me back.
Yes, bitch.
Like, she was like, "Nick, remember when I asked you to do this?" And I was like, "Oh yeah." Then she just pointed at the drawing. She's like, "Well, it's still there." And I was like, "Oh, babe, I deserved that, babe."
Also, because that's still such a classy way to get angry.
She was kind of like, well, then what's this?
Okay,
and I was
so
like, ooh, I know, I'm naughty.
And also, you're like so impressed by her getting mad.
I was like proud of her.
You like forget that you have to do something for her because you're like slay queen.
I love having, because like I had a straight male boss at my first architecture firm, and I was just scared of him because he was a straight man.
Course.
But then my 2 jobs where I worked at kind of the longest. I had a gay male boss in Sydney, but they were both women, and I love being told what to do by a woman.
It's so like,
because it's like, babe, I'm here for you, babe.
Yeah.
Babe,
I'm on your side. I'm an ally.
Let's get this done, babe. Babe.
We had a school.
I'm like, I hear you, and I've got you.
I hear you, and I will fix this for you.
We're in this together, babe.
Because you want to be like ally. You want to be like, I've got this.
I'm like, I'm here for you.
No. Except when you forgot to do the thing she said,
but,
and then that was different because you didn't.
And I
care.
deserved that.
You didn't
rousing on
that lashing.
Yes.
There was a school teacher we had who was teaching English, and she was similar to this woman. She doesn't sound as classy. She was kind of like a bit slutty. Did you ever have those teachers who are a bit slutty?
Yes. And the year 12 boys were like, whoa.
Well, this woman was like 65.
Oh.
She was like really like melted looking.
Oh yeah,
but
we had
she
a few
was
of those.
like hot, like as in she was like she still had a tight rig,
and you can tell that she loved to party in the 70s.
Literally, like her skin was droopy, but she looked like she'd wear these like black mini skirts with like knee highs.
Oh wow,
she was like hot, and she had like a short.
I would have killed
bob.
to know what the teachers' gossip sounded like in the staff room.
Oh my god, they would have been
because they all acted like friends. They'd be like, "Now you listen to."
No, they would have hated each other.
I know,
and
so
I reckon
juicy.
some of them would have fucked and stuff too. Like imagine,
in the staff room.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Bad.
Could you imagine?
There were some hot teachers at my school.
Oh yeah. So this hot teacher, she was our English teacher, and our class was naughty because we weren't like the good English class because I wasn't good with languages, dyslexic. Anyway, one time we were really naughty. Everyone was like being whatever, and she was quite like soft spoken and stuff, and she just snaps and she's like, fuck you, crying, and she's like, just shut the fuck up, all of you. And we were all like, oh, and like open mouth, and we were like trying not to laugh because you're watching a grown woman have a proper breakdown, and and she was like, go to the computer lab, and we all just like leave, and then she met us there and she was like all composed, but we were just like, you know, when you're so stunned, you're like silent. You're like, oh. It was like that because you just saw this grown woman to a bunch of like 16 and 17-year-olds have like a proper snap. Like she cracked. It was like, I still can picture everything about it. It was scarring.
That's so funny.
Yeah, isn't that horrible?
We had this teacher, he was a PE teacher in primary school, and it was so, anytime we were talking or misbehaving, he'd be like, then he would just walk off, and we wouldn't know where he'd go, and
That's
we'd all
also
just
such a dad
then we'd all
thing,
just be standing there like, oh, we fucked up, and then 5 minutes later he'd walk back and be like, are you ready now?
Oh my god.
And like it used to be really, we used to all be like, oh god, but then like by year 7 he'd be like, and he'd walk off and be like, oh my god, like,
yeah, you're like,
we know,
whatever.
okay, sorry, just come back, like we don't have time for this, and he'd go away for 5 minutes and come back and be like, can we keep going? It's like, yes,
yeah,
we're
ready.
You fucking
you didn't
drama
have to
queen.
Yeah, I always remember. I
so
remember
good.
looking at adults when I was young, being like things like that, where they would pretend they were like annoyed, or they would get annoyed and then come back, and I'd be like, if I'm ever like a teacher or an adult in charge, or like a parent, I'll never behave like that. It's just so like eye roll. And then I started nannying during like university for these young kids, and I would literally do shit like that.
Oh, really?
I'd be like, when you're ready, we can continue.
Wow.
Or I'd turn the music off and be like, when you're ready, I'll turn it back on. And then I was like, who are you? Who have you become? And I was like 19,
I've
being
never
like,
looked after kids. I don't know.
oh my God, it pushes you.
I
It
couldn't
will
be a
push you.
teacher because I would just want to make, I'm like, oh my God, I hope they think I'm cool. Like I wouldn't be, and if someone was being naughty, I'd be like, oh my God, like that's so fine. Like, because I just have this need for everyone to like me, obviously.
To be like, they have to like you.
Yeah. Especially if they were like, like if they were high school, I'd be like,
Yeah, but think about us
I
as
really need their
kids.
approval.
Oh my God, yeah, but think about us as kids who are idiots.
I know.
But I guess they have kids are
I'm just
good.
scared they'd bully me. I'm scared of teenage. I'm scared
I
of
cross
everyone.
the street when I see boys. When I see young boys or girls, like a
Terrifying.
group of them are so scary.
And I get so scared if I walk past a group of teenage boys and I just hear one of them yell out like, "Oh, TikTok!" And I'm like, "Oh God, keep walking!" Like, It's so
Which
scary.
also is so funny because they'd probably assume you'd be like so confident, like, yeah, what's up, boys, kind of vibe.
Yeah, but I'm like,
you're like,
you would have
no, thank
been
you.
mean
Yeah,
to
you.
me.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel equally scared to walk into a room of like 60-year-old men who are all like lawyers, as I do like 15 to 17-year-olds, like boys.
Like one
they're
on their
scary.
own, I'm like, okay, I'm not scared.
Yeah,
but
that's
as soon
fine.
as there's like 4.
Yeah, 4.
4 or
Try
more.
2.
2. Yeah, even
Like,
2, I'm crossing the street.
Even 2, I'm like, I'm scared. Just also, it's
They just
like,
say the meanest things.
so mean.
Because they
Kids
just
are
make each other so confident.
And also, it's like, I get it. Like, I'll do anything for the laugh. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, if I'm with friends, like, I'll be silly or like an idiot or like just rant about things
same.
just because
You're
it's
so much
funny
more confident.
Yeah. And also, you've got an audience. Your friends, like, there's nothing that hypes me up more than being around like 2 or 3 friends and like, I'll be a bitch.
Yeah.
It's like so.
Because they're like teenage boys, they're dangerous. So when there's a few of them, like remember in Sydney, I was walking with Sez, and there were these 2 teenage boys like, "Do you have a cigarette?" I was like, "No," and they're like, "Wait, are you gay?" And I was like,
Yeah.
I didn't know what to say. I was like, do I
Because you're like,
lie
are they
or do
gonna,
I
like,
get
bash
bashed?
me?
But they were tiny, and I'm like, I'm 6'3".
And if you were like, yeah, I'm gay, they'd probably be like, yeah, me too. I love your TikTok.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been
Are you
fine.
gay? Okay, good, because I need a mentor.
It would have been like 100% fine.
I'm like,
but
oh
we're
yeah,
just
true.
so
It's
scared.
2024. Like, it's
I
different
can't
now.
tell if I'm scared because I was so bullied by those kinds of, like, I used to be walking, minding my own business, and a Tarago, like one of those family vans, would drive past and it was like, fat!
Oh my god.
but it's like now it's like, I'm like, oh, okay, cool, like, whatever, you're entitled to your opinion.
Yeah.
But now it's like, I'm scared for a fair reason.
Yeah.
So it's like when people are like,
You're like, oh god, a Tarago.
a family van. Like, I'm like, could be a family of boys calling me fat. Like, it's
Yeah.
like, you're just so scared. Like, it's
Yeah.
fine because I've had conversations with, especially women, where it's like, you're almost scared to go on the apps, for example, because I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I've had things where it's like, sit on my face. And then you don't reply and they're like, well, you're fat anyway. I wouldn't be able to breathe. And you're just like, okay,
Wow.
cool. It's so scary. Like, it's so funny. It
when I
is so
was-
funny, but it's so like,
It's intense.
yeah, but that's why when people like you know you can't be scared of men, and I'm like, I hashtag not all men at all. I agree. Like I have
it's
such
like, I'm trying to
incredible.
not be scared
I'm
of them.
trying.
My therapist is
I'm try-
helping. But give me some
But
time.
there's only so much Nicole can do. There's only so many sessions the government gives out. But that's my thing with it, like with dating or even walking down the street. It's like, yeah, of course we're scared. Those are the guys who would have screamed shit at you when you were young. Like, it's like, it's not funny, but I find it very funny.
It is kind of funny.
It is funny.
When I was in Hobart and Sez and I were at dinner and I just went on Grindr. So I was talking to this guy on Grindr because he was telling me about Jimbo, the drag queen, was doing a show in Hobart.
Okay, yeah.
So I was on Grindr and then this other guy said hi and I didn't reply because I was at dinner.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have even been on Grindr, but I was. And then like literally 5
You
minutes
were
later,
hungry,
he was
yeah.
like, because he was like, hey, how are you? Then 5 minutes later, he's like, okay, how dare you? He's like,
What?
do you think you're a god or something?
Excuse me?
And then he's like, also, I'm toned. So you're lucky I'm talking to you. And all this stuff. And I was like, hey, sorry, I'm at dinner. I didn't realize I had to reply straight away. I didn't even know you.
psychotic.
And he was like, yeah, he was like, you think you're a god? You're not replying to me?
Excuse me?
I was like, babe, who are you?
I can't believe that.
Yeah, there's some psychos
That's
on there.
so, but also the expectation now that we have our phones on us all the time and we will reply instantly is actually so sick.
I know.
Like that idea that you have to reply, whether it's to like a comment or a text or whatever, immediately, I just think is so fucked. And like, I try to reply obviously as efficiently as possible to things, but that's people now on like Grindr or like dating apps where I'm like, it's been 12 hours. You're not my boyfriend. I don't need to
Yeah, I
reply
don't even
instantly
know.
to you. It's so
The
weird.
only time it's not okay is when I have a crush. And then
they're not
they've
replying
they're not
instantly.
replying. Then I think, well, come on, you have your phone with you. But every other circumstance,
Yes.
take your time.
But but here's the thing that, okay, so my friend was trying to set me up with this guy and he was saying he's really nice, but he like replies like a power text, like he'll boom, 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 like text, like, and he's like very if you text him, he'll reply. And I was like, oh, something about that is just like a bit of a turn off. And he was like, okay, would you rather that, or would you rather the guy last year who I was seeing for a bit who wouldn't reply? And it's like, I don't know.
To me, the worst would be like if someone was like, "Oh, this guy replies straight
and then
away,"
he doesn't ever reply.
He takes 5 days. I'm like,
oh, that's not my experience. He's actually kind of been really chill with me,
Yeah.
like so chill. He's not texting back at
"You
all.
Sure you didn't mix the two of them up?"
I know that is true.
Yeah.
Imagine now he goes
That-
on a few dates with me and he's like, just
That would
radio
break
signs.
me.
I would
I'm
kill
like, "Oh,
myself.
the fast replier has left me on."
I've turned the fast replier into a no reply. Oh my god!
I've turned the fast replier into a social media detox replier.
Oh my god, that makes me.
That's scary
sick.
bad.
That makes me sick.
This podcast should be about things we're scared about. We've been talking about.
Everything was. I will say about the JB Hi-Fi thing to bring
yes.
that back.
Yes.
That I was speaking to this guy on an app for a while, and he is a manager at JB Hi-Fi, and he is exactly that guy.
Yeah.
That stereotype, and he's hot, but he's like a douche in that way.
Yeah.
And I found it hot in texting because it's so abrasive. Like even the way sexually he
You're
would.
texting this JB Hi-Fi guy?
Yeah, so we met on an app.
Oh.
And then we were texting for a while because he was in Sydney for like a JB Hi-Fi meeting. I don't know. But he lives in a different like town. Like
Imagine a JB Hi-Fi meeting. It's like, how can we ignore customers
how can
better,
we
more
make them have
efficiently?
how do we make them feel worse about themselves more efficiently?
Yeah, so maybe if we all huddle
maybe if we
together,
stand together and we're
kinda like
really
a scrum.
intimidating,
Yeah.
and we stand in the back corner of every single store so they have to look through every aisle to find
And
us.
we hide our lanyards.
Oh, yes,
So they
so-
go up to customers
who
first.
dress like us.
Yeah, that's what the
Also,
meeting
they
was.
all dress the same.
Yeah.
But different.
And
So
it's
they're
like-
not in a
it's
uniform.
also like,
they're
babe,
not in
get
an
a
official
uniform.
But they're not in an official uniform. But every single one wears a little bit of baggy
I
jeans
just look for
with
whoever
like a
has
big
green
shirt.
hair. I'm like, who has green hair here? Find me my camera.
That's so spot on. But they're so the same. I feel like there are certain, like, if you were to go to like a country road or like certain shops that just attract a certain vibe of a person. But something about JB, they're so
JB.
JB. My JB. The guy I was talking to is my JB.
funny.
He's so hot, but he's so that type.
I can't imagine a hot person there. That sounds so mean.
He had a fat ass. Do you want to see him?
Yeah.
You can have a blind react.
Okay, yeah.
Here we
Oh
go.
my God.
Okay, wait.
You follow him on Instagram?
Yeah, we were talking for a while, and
When
then
was this? Why don't I know about this?
because literally nothing. Wait, oh my god, what's his name? Fuck. Oh my god, why am I blanking?
Oh,
okay, wait,
no.
hold on, I'll find him.
Okay.
What are you doing in the next few weeks?
Oh, babe. That's a great
Well, yeah,
question.
plug
babe.
some stuff that you got coming up.
For the love of God, if you live in Bristol, Brighton, Birmingham, or London, buy tickets. I'm struggling.
This will be after
I'm
that.
not struggling. Yeah, it will be after. All right, ignore that.
No, but still tell
I'm
them.
going to England, not the UK. England, and then I get back on September 15th, and then the next day I get my little fur baby.
See, now that's the exciting part.
That is going to
Now
be the
that's
biggest day of my life.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
are you nervous? Are you excited? What are
I'm
the feelings?
excited. The thing I'm most nervous about at the moment is missing a train in the UK and missing my show. Touch wood that doesn't happen.
Missing a train is scary.
Yeah, but that's what's causing me the most anxiety right now. But I think the puppy, I'm not even nervous anymore. I was, but then I met him, and then I was just like,
It felt right.
He's my little bubba.
It's when you meet. Yeah, you met him.
And I'm just so excited.
That's beautiful. Okay, I found him. Are
Okay,
you ready?
let's see.
Okay, just okay, wait, hold on. Just that's he's hot to me.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Like,
okay,
do you know what I
he has
mean?
a kind of cool vibe. Yeah, he's cute.
Yeah, he's just like hot to me.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have to be hot to everyone.
No, I see it.
But he's so JB Hi-Fi.
That's the guy that served me yesterday.
Shut
No,
up.
I'm kidding.
I would die.
Yeah, he's cute.
He's hot to me. I think he's
He
hot.
looks more
but
fun
he's
than-
like thick.
Oh, he is cute.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
yeah.
he was lols, but he was like such a piece
Why'd
of
you
work.
stop talking? Oh, he's a piece of
Because
work.
he just no, like in a good way.
You should
that I
talk
like.
again.
Well,
Let's call him.
Okay, should we call him? Could you imagine? Should I message him?
Yeah.
What should we say? Should
Hey,
we just
babe.
say, hey, babe.
When was the last time you talked?
August. If I message him, he'll reply. Like but I think he started dating someone because then suddenly he would show some
Fuck.
stuff. Yeah.
That's
Let's see.
annoying.
But okay, I don't want to give too many identifiers about
Yeah,
him. We can offline about
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
But also he's someone who would identify with a rugby team. Who would be like us, we.
He's not a typical JB Hi-Fi employee. I love that you forgot his name.
I forgot his name.
Oh, that's
It's so hard to retain everyone's
There's
name.
too many people.
And like, there's just too many people. I can't. Okay, so in this segment, we get people to write in and tell us like if there are things that are pissing them off that are valid or not because they're not too sure. So today, our submission, someone says, my friend is consistently 15 minutes late. We just weigh in on this. Like, are they fair to be pissed? What do we think of the situation?
Yes.
Where is their anger level? Where is an appropriate anger level?
Yes.
My friend is consistently 15 minutes late. It's really annoying. I don't want to show up 15 minutes late so that we're both technically on time based on principle, but it pisses me off. Now, when I'm late, I feel so guilty. But if you're 5-10 minutes late, I'm like, babe, don't worry. It's okay. Don't stress. But I guess if you're constantly late, it's annoying.
I have a friend who was always late to everything. Her name's Tilly. Hi, Tilly.
Hi, Tilly. Get it together, Tilly. Yeah.
But I think we were such good friends that I could literally say to her, okay, Tilly, you cannot be late for this. And I'm telling you, this is the time you have to meet me there. And she's like, but what time does it start? I'm like, I'm not telling you.
That's irrelevant.
Sometimes, like, if I had to like and I had to check in on her about, are you getting ready? Like she's, ADHD, like would be late a lot.
Yeah.
But then like
she has to be somewhere at 6:15 and she starts showering at 6:10.
But it depends on what it is. Like if we had to be somewhere, I'd be annoyed if she was late. But if it was just like, let's get coffee and she's like, actually, I'm going to be another 10 to 15. I'd be like, babe,
yeah,
that's fine,
I think
babe.
that's fine. Also, if I'm prepared, like if I've got a notebook or my phone's on fully
I'm
charged.
I'm happy to sit there on my own for a while.
I could just faff around for 15 minutes. But the consistent thing to me is like, why don't you just leave? If you are consistently 15 minutes late, just leave.
Just get into the habit of leaving earlier.
10 minutes earlier. Like that's not hard.
And then it just avoids stress for you.
Yeah.
And then stress for your friend.
I'm consistently late for two people in my life and I can't change that. One is my sister. Like I am just always late for her and she's like, yeah, every time I get there on time, she's like, wow, I'm surprised you're capable.
Oh, wow.
Like to the point where it's like every time.
Yeah.
And then my other friend, Annie Boyle.
Oh, yeah.
I can't be on time for her.
That's so strange.
I don't know why. It's like, I will fight my hardest. I wonder,
that.
I think it's so, isn't that weird?
That is weird. I feel like I'm kind of the same.
I'm a relatively on-time person. Like, yes, I'm late, or sometimes I'm just so busy and I'm...
Would you say I'm on time for you?
I would say so.
I feel like I try to be on time for
you
you because I know you would always try to be on time for me.
Yes,
Whereas with Tilly, I'm like, I'm going to get to Tilly's thing because she's always late to my stuff.
See, maybe it breeds vibe, but Annie's quite prompt.
So
I don't. And well, see, you know what I think it is. I know that whether I show up on time or late to my sister's house, she'll do the same thing. Be on the couch.
Yeah.
Whereas I know, like, if you and I have something going on, it's like
we
you've
have
probably
a lot to
finished
cover.
something, and you're meeting me for 2 hours, and then we both have something else on. So let's be efficient.
There's never been a time where you and I have hung out and been like, oh, okay, that's everything to talk about. Like, we always have so much to cover.
Honestly, yes.
So the time is so valuable.
It's like, okay, we'll bookmark that for next time.
Yeah, truly.
Whereas I feel like with my sister, like, I'm like, so how are you? And she's just on the couch.
Yeah.
And then she's just kind of lying there.
The other night when you came home from your show and you came into my room and we're both like, yeah, let's go to bed. And then an
3
hour
hours
later, I'm like, do you reckon you'll have kids?
It's like I'm like standing up to go leave.
And then we talked about it for an hour.
I do think there is something so funny because there are some friends that I hang out with that I'm like, all right, cool, like that's done for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But then there are some friends that I have where it's just like, it just seems endless.
I'm like, there's so much to tell you at every moment.
I wonder if you still lived here, if it would feel that way. Surely.
I think so.
I know.
I think even when we both lived in the same city, we'd voice message every night and be like, guess what happened tonight?
Literally.
Yeah.
It's so weird. What is that?
But yeah, I guess
it's just, I don't know.
I think it's because like, I know you find everything interesting in my life and everything in your life I find interesting.
Exactly. So it's just like, it's like funny.
And we also understand each other's lives.
I think I was just going to say that. I feel like as I've gotten older, the hard part is some of my not high school friends, but some of my friends from different parts of my life that aren't like from my comedy life, it's like, yeah, of course, when they're like, how are you? I'm like, oh, I could tell you about this shit experience I had with this like room runner, like booker person. But you'll be like, that sounds like not a nice person. Whereas if I tell you, you're like, yeah, and the thing,
like,
that's so
fuck that guy,
yeah,
he's done
like,
that before.
and you understand like how frustrating. Or if I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I had a show the other night and it sucked in the crowd, this or that, my friend might be like, oh, that sucks. But you've got so many cool shows coming up, and it's like, I just want someone who's like, I understand exactly what that is.
Oh, yes.
And you get that, you know.
Yes.
But yeah, consistently late.
I think I'm late in the morning. If it's breakfast, I struggle to get there on time.
Okay.
Like, but it's good because like in Melbourne, Sez is the main person I get breakfast with. And 50% of the time I'll be like, hey, running 10 late. And the other 50% of the time she says, hey, running 10 late.
That's kind of the beauty of a good friendship.
Yeah, totally.
Where you're both equally late. And 10 minutes is within the window of faux pas, you're fine. I'd say anything upwards of 15 is non-negotiable to me. Where especially like if I was running 5 late, I won't text you being like running 5 late. If I'm 10, I'll give you a heads up. If I'm 15 or 20, like I'm sending profuse apologies.
Yeah, totally.
Like 10 minutes to me is fine.
It's so funny when Tilly would be like, I would see her running to me. like she would always be like,
if you have to run,
like,
you have to
we used
run,
to go for walks
you need
in
to
the morning
reevaluate.
in Glebe,
and
I'm like, you have to meet at this point at this time. And I would see her running to make sure she's on time.
Also, it's like pathetic.
Yeah.
Seeing someone run to meet you or run for a bus
really
or
I'm like, oh, she doesn't want to let me down.
It's so sweet, but I also just the vision of like sprinting somewhere, because I've also been that thing where I'm like, I know I'm late, so you just start jogging.
Yeah,
like,
no,
you know what
totally.
I mean? That feeling when you're like, I am going to be late.
I did that a few days ago. Where did I don't know. I started jogging. So I'm like, fuck.
That's when you're like anxious late.
Yeah.
There are some people that if I'm late, I don't actually worry. I know that they're acceptable and they're accepting and they're like chill. But that run, that sprint is like so vulnerable.
I'm so glad I don't have a 9 to 5 anymore, because running for the train, that used
There's nothing. And if you make
that would ruin my day.
If you miss or you make it, it's embarrassing.
Yeah, because then
you
you're
make
on a packed train.
and then you're
and you're like sweating. If you're wearing a jumper
and
because it's
everyone's
winter and you're like
watched
sweating,
you
and I'm going
and
to
you're
stink all day. Good. I'm going to have BO all day because I'm sweating.
And you're like standing packed into like a subway car, sardines, like heavy, trying not to heavy breathe because everyone just watched you run. It's or if you miss it, it's like embarrassing because everyone.
And you still have to catch the next.
You still have
train.
to go on another train.
Oh
my god! I know. And one time I had such a bad UTI. You know this. I had such a bad UTI, which was misdiagnosed as a backache in New York. Bus. And I had to start catching a bus because I couldn't lift my knee. I couldn't go up and down as many stairs because my UTI hurt my back so much. And they misdiagnosed it, so I was taking painkillers. So I had to like roll onto a bus, sit on a bus, go cross town, and it was just so bad. And a bus, especially those long buses with the accordion thing in the center, you get thrown around in that accordion bit.
Going to the doctor in New York was so scary.
Scary. I once had the hottest doctor in New York, and I looked him up. And he was gay, but he's this strapping
at like
6'5". Yes.
Oh wow.
He was so hot, but he misdiagnosed my UTI. So you know, did I?
He's like, it's probably just like, I don't know, like just do a few stretches like this.
It's like the bros, like the bro.
The bro.
Yeah. This other time, my sister visited me in New York, and she had, I can't remember what, she had something which we just labeled as a fart attack because she kept farting.
Oh yeah. That sounds like my good friend.
Oh no, it cut off.
Oh.
The point is, we were in New York, and my sister had like not gallstones, but it was something where in the middle of the night she started farting and was like doubled over in sweating. I thought she was like giving birth. That's how hectic. We take her to the hospital. And they give her like morphine and whatever, and she's fine. But the hottest doctor, did I tell you this?
I don't know.
The hottest doctor is tending to her. And we were like talking whatever and having fun because we were like, it was like 2 a.m. and I'm just like delirious and she was delirious. And so we were like vibing. And then like 2 weeks later, we match on Hinge. Yep. And then I message him or maybe it was Bumble because my opening message was, oh my God, like, you treated my sister 2 weeks ago for a fart attack in like New York, whatever hospital. Never replied.
Oh.
I know.
Boo.
I know.
What if he was like, ew, farts?
He was so hot.
Oh, damn.
I know.
I hate it when a really hot person matches with you and then just doesn't talk to you. And it's like,
I don't get it.
Babe, don't play me like that,
Because
babe.
also, you know that the hot guys aren't doing the thing where they're just like swipe. You know, like, you know how you've seen the meme of like dudes or like people at a sports game just like swipe, like yes to everyone.
Yeah.
I don't think a hot guy's doing that, but maybe they're just like drunk and they're like, I don't know.
Well, if he's a doctor, I hope he's not drunk. That's a bad example for his
true.
patients. So he needs to work on himself.
Don't we all? That's why we would have been perfect together.
Babe.
Nick, you were my first guest on What the Fuck.
Babe.
How exciting.
Wait, is it What the Fucks or What the Fuchs?
I don't know. Fuchs. But sometimes it sounds weird.
What the Fuchs? No,
What the
it's good.
Fuchs?
It's your last name.
Yeah, true. It is my last name.
Babe, thanks for having me,
Thanks
babe.
for coming on,
Of
for
course,
being great.
babe.
Now, what do you have going on? Like, what's going on? You got your dog.
I will have my
You'll have your
dog by the
dog by
time
the
this
time
comes
this
out.
is
Oh, that's
out.
crazy.
Isn't that
I'll be listening to
crazy?
this with him in
With
my
a puppy.
lap. Oh, my baba.
Wow.
My
How
fur
weird is
baba.
that?
It's so exciting. That's
I
literally
know.
all I have on. Like, I get back
Nothing to
from
plug.
England and then
Yeah.
I get the dog and I devote my life to him.
But this dog is so lucky.
Yeah, he's going to be my everything. He's going to be so
Are you going to let him sleep in
loved.
the bed with you?
Eventually, but I want to be able to train him to sleep in his crate. I'm going to crate train him.
It's probably good for him.
Yeah.
But will the crate be in your room?
No, it'll be in the living room, I think.
Okay. Right. Do you know how to crate train, or are you Googling these things?
I've watched a few videos about it already. So
I feel like
have an
golden
idea.
retrievers also are like relatively easy to train. Isn't that their whole thing?
Yeah, and crate training is you just have to make their crate a place that they want to be in. So you just
That's
put
so
treats in it, you put
cute.
toys in it, and eventually it's where they go when they want to just relax. And then when you're leaving the house, you'll be like, oh, here's a toy, and they go in their crate. Then you just close the door and they're happy to be in there.
Wait, but you don't leave him in the crate when you leave the house.
Yeah. It's because so he doesn't like wreck the house. But you're not meant to leave for more than like an hour or so when they're young.
Wait, he just sits in a crate all by himself.
It's big though.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's why you have to make their crate somewhere that they feel safe and they want to go to.
Oh, that's so sad and cute at the same time.
Yeah, it's just so they don't have free reign of the house and like rip everything up.
So because I'm going to go to Melbourne to do a bunch of shows, when I come, it
Yeah.
will be late November. He will be how old?
So he
August,
will be
September,
about,
October, November.
He's about 2
4
months.
months? Will he be 4 months by then?
He'll
No.
be about 4 months, close to 4.5 months, I reckon.
Oh, that's
That'll be a
so
good age.
cute.
It'll be such a cute
That is
age.
so cute.
I can't wait for all my friends to meet him.
Same. Oh my god. But I want to see him when he's tiny.
I know.
Because when they're 4 months, they'll start being a bit
You
bigger.
should just come for like a weekend.
I kind of think I will.
Just do it.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we will. I want to.
I think Tilly's coming in like
Yeah, like even if I
early
just come for
October.
like one night.
Yeah.
I just want to meet him.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see how you guys settle in and get to know
Yeah.
each other, and then we can make some
Yeah.
big decisions.
Yeah.
All right, well, this is it. Thanks for coming, Nick. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for
See you
letting me
later.
stay here.
And,
Yes.
you could say, and this week we said,
What the fucks?